Great jobs, everyone. With that last strike, you have finally defeated the bandit gang that has been wreaking havoc on the townspeople for months. You bring back the bandit leader's ring to the guard captain as proof that you have completed the job. And the guard captain looks you over, then nods slightly.
"Nicely done," he says. "I believe I promised you a sizable reward to rid us of that scum."
He reaches into his desk and pulls out a pouch and throws it to you. Yeah, we're talking about physical currency. Hello my minions, DM Daniel here to talk a little about using physical currency in your game. For my 2 current campaigns that I'm running, and for the past many months, I have 3D printed hundreds of all of the different kinds of coins in the official DnD universe, and today I would like to talk to you about 3 things. How it has impacted my game, why I think it's a great idea for your game, and how you can do it. So how has it impacted the games that I'm running? Well, I've always had a hard time thinking about the different values of coins when I've run games. I tended to just always use gold pieces for everything. If the players found money, gold pieces. If the players bought something, the price was in gold pieces. If they got a reward, they could get some items, but then again, they would also get gold pieces. I didn't really like the idea of using different kinds of currency because of the way that money was handled in the inventory section of the player character sheet. If someone had 15 gold pieces but bought something for 1 silver and 5 copper pieces, then the player would have to erase both the gold, silver and copper value and then rewrite it. It was a hassle, it was difficult. If you used a pen, you couldn't really do it, then you'd have to use a whiteout or whatever it's called in English. It seemed difficult and it seemed too much of a hassle. So therefore, when at all possible, I tended to avoid anything that wasn't gold pieces when it came to money, which then in turn kind of made every monetary interaction feel flat and like it was lacking something. But using physical coins for my players have turned that around completely. Now, if the players get a reward, it's just as easy grabbing a copper piece as it is grabbing a platinum piece and then putting it all in a pouch and giving that loot to the players. And it even adds to the fun for the players to receive that money, where they frantically look inside of what they've received to tally up the loot and count the money and even divide what they have received amongst them, even exchanging the coins that they already have to divide everything up more fairly. At one point in my most recent session, the players had stolen a chest containing what they later found out was the entire village funds. They felt incredibly bad about that, and they wanted to return the chest to where they had stolen it from. So they chose the party member with the highest sneak skill to sneak back to where they had taken it from. But that particular player didn't agree with that plan. So as we did a quick one-on-one where all the other players watched as she sneaked back in and put the chest back, she had secretly taken out the purse containing the money and then handed me the chest back, empty. She had secretly kept that money, which later added intrigue, and in some way it actually saved them because they really needed more money at a later point. So the entire party was both furious and extremely thankful that she had kept that money. It added a whole layer of intrigue to that game. So using physical money has given an incredible depth to how everything money related is handled in my games. Which brings us to the next thing I wanted to talk about, why I think you should try to use it in your game. First of all, as it is with everything else, not everyone will like this. Some players will probably think it's boring to count up the coins and keep track of them physically and dividing them up between them, and that's okay. Ask your players what they would think about it, either before you do it or after you have tried it the first time. I surprised my players with these coins and they immediately loved it and loved everything about it. So, assuming that your players will also like it, what are the benefits of using physical coins besides what we've already talked about? Well, it strengthens immersion for one thing. Instead of simply writing down that they have received 500 gold pieces, they actually receive 500 gold pieces which they can hold in their hand and feel what they've received. But even this encourages more immersion, because 500 gold pieces takes up a lot of space. This is actually only 70 gold pieces here that I've put together with some elastics to make it easier to count up. But this is only 70. 500 is a lot. So that creates a problem of having that much coin. You as a DM probably won't have 500 gold pieces or any pieces. Maybe that's the full amount that you have. So what do you do instead? Well, instead you give them 20 silver pieces, 18 gold pieces, 8 platinum pieces, a gold bar, and a gem, which then adds up to 500 gold pieces, or to the value of 500 gold pieces. Now the players will have valuables, which will be the same amount that they have received, but with the added twist that the coins are spendable, but they will have to find a trader or a vendor who will exchange this for gold, which encourages immersion and role-playing, and they will have to see if they can find someone who will give the full price for this. Or if they are really in a pickle and need money, they might accept a bad bargain, or not the full price. Another thing that your players might enjoy is dealing with how to store their coins. I bought a bunch of these cheap chests online and gave each one to my player, where they have their coins inside. Many of them actually took the chests home with them to decorate it and to personalize it. They say it feels like it's the actual chest that their character in-game has their valuables and their belongings in, and it connects them even further with their character. Fitting the loot inside of the chest has now also become a concern for them, and they sometimes visit the stores simply to exchange some of their many smaller value coins to some of the fewer larger value ones to free up space inside of the chest. So again, it enhances immersion and role-playing. And finally, it's just cool. Throwing a purse or giving a chest to your players while you're playing is simply fun. And the looks on their faces when they open it and they see what's inside, it's just priceless. I cannot recommend this enough. So this would probably be a good idea to talk about how to actually do it, right? So here's what I'll do. First I'll talk about how I actually did it, and then I'll talk about some other alternatives there are in case that it's not possible for everyone to use the exact methods that I did. As mentioned already, I have 3D printed the coins that I use for my D&D campaigns. I found the 3D files online for free, and there are many different versions to choose from if you just search for it online. Instead of painting them, I chose to buy filament in the respective colors, which I think worked out great. I found these filaments which have a kind of metallic, glossy finish which just fits perfect for coins. Each roll of these will give about 300 to 500 coins, depending on the size that you print them in. But that really isn't that much. 500 platinum pieces are only 5,000 gold pieces, and when split between 3 to 5 players, not to mention keeping the inventory for your merchants and the future rewards, that will deplete these coins pretty quickly as the players level up. So what do? Well, you use other props to represent more valuable levels of currency. Like, I've got these gold bars, which in my game is worth 100 gold pieces. And then I have these diamonds, and they are all worth 1,000 gold pieces. And then I have these gems in different variations and colors, and they will all represent a higher and higher level of value for each of them. So this way, no matter how high the players level up, no matter how valuable that the rewards get, I always have something to have a physical representation of their wealth. The last thing I did was getting hold of different containers and purses for the players to receive the money in, and there are chests and purses all of different sizes and different levels of wealth. So when the party defeats a gang of raiders and they find a chest, they actually receive a chest with the raiders' wealth inside. But what if you don't have access to a 3D printer? Well, there are of course always makerspaces, and if you're lucky enough to live near one of those, you might be able to rent time at a 3D printer there. You can always also pay people who have 3D printers online to print it for you and then send you the print afterwards. But if that's not an option for you, you don't necessarily have to use these coins with the official DnD Wizards of the Coast design in them. There are plenty of plastic, metal and other material coins that you can buy online or in hobby shops. Many hobby shops or costume shops or something, they will have plenty of gems, pirate coins, rhinestones or other things that you can use as stand-ins. Even washers meant for construction can be used for it. They have different sizes, even different shapes. Go nuts with your creativity. You just need something to represent the value and different notations of value. So it really is something that everyone can try out if they would like to try it. And for me, I don't think I will ever be able to go back to simply have inventory on paper anymore. And that's not only for coins, but more on that in a later video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you could use something of what I said. If you liked it, you might want to check out my Patreon, where my free public campaign Mists of Eldoria can be found. It's in the process of being created there. And you might also want to swing by my Etsy store, where I make cute and funny D&D themed designs for t-shirts and other merchandise. But until next time, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.